Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a Bible journaling process for you. Let's go. Today I am working on week 3 of Camp Living Hope, and I am in the book of Psalms. I'm super excited. I got all my goodies out from camp. There are a ton of different goodies. I have them from both months. So we are just going to dive in. I will link things down below. Remember, some of these items are available a la carte from Illustrated Faith. The devotional kit, the full kit, is sold out. But the good news is that there is always the Print and Pray shop over at Illustrated Faith, where you can download these a lot of these pieces digitally and then print them out and use them at home. So I'll put you guys on fast forward. Let's go. Like I said, we are in the book of Psalms, specifically Psalm 32, verse 8, where it says, "I will instruct you and show you the way to go. With my eye on you, I will give you counsel." What I would like to create on my page is the look of a map of a hike. Specifically, I really appreciated how Gina pointed out in her portion of the devotional. She said, "Let go of all preconceived notions regarding perfection. No one walks with Jesus perfectly." I appreciate that statement because I feel like a lot of us fall in the trap of just feeling like we're not doing things correctly, and then we are often enticed into the trap of judging others for not doing their walk, quote unquote, correctly. And I love the reminder that no walk is perfect and that Jesus promises to be there, not just on the main trail, but he promises to be right next to us the whole time, whether we veer or not. And if we always continue to look to him when we do get off of our path, he will guide us right back on. And this was a good reminder to me because I'm certainly someone whose path has not always been perfect. And I think God has used those imperfections in my path to help me be someone that can speak to others in a really authentic way about their faith and about the path they took to get to where they are. So I very much appreciate that God has used me in that way. For the background of my map, I used 3 different shades of Distress Oxide. I went with Tattered Rose, Old Paper, and then Tea Dye to create kind of an old, worn look in the background. When things were not blending how I wanted to, I love that with Distress Oxide, you can add just a little spray of water, just a light mist, and then it blends a lot more thoroughly. And I use a couple different blending brushes. I like the domed blending brushes that you can pick up at scrapbook.com. And then I also like these more kind of makeup style brushes that you can pick up from Amazon. I didn't need it to be perfect. Like I said, I wanted it to kind of be worn in the background and just to cover partially that margin. Now I'm going to play with a few of the ephemera pieces. Of course, you get a ton of ephemera with this kit, and if you buy the digitals, you can print them out over and over. You are not going to run out of ephemera pieces. Like, if you run out of ephemera pieces, I'm going to be incredibly impressed with the amount of journaling that you did. I'm picking out a few pieces that I can use. Definitely Hope at the top. Love the map and love the little post sign that is telling you which way to go. I'm going to use a card. I'm trying to find a card that I can use for journaling purposes to write out my prayer. This library card is just going to be too big for the right side of the margin where I want it. So maybe one of these kind of smaller cards that are printed. These are kind of trading card size. Those are super cute and I love the mountain scene. So that'll be great. Those are my main pieces of ephemera. I know I'm going to want something to anchor where the trees and the post sign are. So we'll use just a fun washi tape, and then I will repeat that washi tape in the prayer on the prayer card that I'm adding in. To add a little something to my ephemera pieces, I often like to dirty up the sides with Distress Oxide ink. They all have this edging that is white that you get with stickers and ephemera and everything like that. Sometimes that looks really stark on the page. Like if you are doing a different kind of look and then you have this bright white, it was too much for me, and I knew I was going to have some other pieces that were whites that I really wanted to stand out. So I'm just using the Tattered Rose. That is by far my favorite Distress Oxide ink color. I use it all of the time. It's just this perfect soft kind of pink, and I'm using it to just put along the edges of all of the pieces that I'm planning to pop in there, just so that they're not quite so stark. Now on the post sign, I've grabbed some of the alpha type alphabet stamps right here, and I'm going to stamp out the word walk, because of course that is the title of this particular part of the devotional, which is called Walking with Jesus. So I'm going to do walk right here on the top of the sign, and then I will hand letter the words this way. So it'll say walk this way. Now the acrylic stamps are really easy to use. All you need is an acrylic stamp block. You pop the stamps on the stamp block and then you hold it just like you would one of those older rubber stamps with the wooden backs. But the plus side is that you can see exactly where you plan to stamp. So those are very easy to use. Then you take them, clean them, pop them back onto your stamp sheet that they came from. All right, I'm trying to get everything positioned here on the page, everything that I have so far. I need this map. I didn't like the angle that it was at. I'm actually going to cover up the little "you are here" moment that's on the map, because I'm going to add that in a different way, and you'll see that in just a second. But let me go ahead and put the different pieces on. Let me know in the comments below, are you working through Camp Living Hope? This is actually a devotional from Illustrated Faith. It's going to last 2 months. There are 2 separate devotionals. You can pick them up at illustratedfaith.com over in the Print and Pray shop, and there's a lot of other goodies available there as well, including these really cute papers from Kelly Bangs that have kind of the wood grain look to them. And I'm going to use those along with a stamp set from an older revival camp. So it's actually Revival Camp 2019. There is a stamp set that has the "You Are Here" stamp in it. And I'm going to stamp that on a few different places. I'm really just wanting that little icon. And what I'm going to do is cut out those icons and then piece them together. So here's what I did. I did 2 of each color. I'm aiming for 3 different icons, 2 of each color, so that on half of them I can cut out that middle circle. That way, when I cut out the middle circle, I can take it and adhere it to the top of a different icon color to provide a little bit of contrast. And you'll see how I do that in just a second. Remember, with stamps, you don't always have to stamp directly into your journaling, into your Bible. That can be really nerve-wracking in case you make a mistake. I often use my stamps outside my Bible and then fussy cut out pieces like you see I'm doing right here. That way it takes the pressure off. If I misstamp, if I mess up, I can always redo it. When you put it directly in your Bible, it feels like if you mess up, it's the end of the world. Of course, it's never the end of the world. You can always fix it. But one of the ways I kind of avoid that feeling is by doing the stamping outside. All right, so I'm going to just use these to denote some different milestones, some different waypoints, and I'm usually the word fetty. I love word fetty. I love it so much, and we're just going to mark 3 different times. I pray, I lead my life according to your beautiful word, and for me that is just denoting the time when, as a young mother, when my daughter was a newborn, I really felt called to dig in and start reading my Bible daily. I had not really done it much before then. I had attended church, I had done some activities, but I hadn't really focused on my own study, and I remember feeling called as a young mom to do that. So that's denoting that. I once was lost, but now I'm found is the second moment there, and that is finding the church family, finding the community, finding a group of people that helped to support me along the faith journey, and they were, it's hard to put into words how important it is to find that community. And then I have Walking with Jesus as my last little point. And to denote that it's not always perfect, you can see my little pathway here with its curves, with its loops. Things are not always a straight path in your faith journey, and it's good to know that and to expect that and to know that it is okay that that is the case. On my prayer card, I'm going to write out a prayer that says, Lord, I am thankful that my walk with you does not have to be perfect. I pray that you would continue to guide me to live a life that invites questions to your glory. Once that is done, I will adhere my prayer card to the page using washi tape, and then go ahead and add the date using my Studio Calico Mega Date stamp. And that's going to be it for this Bible journal entry. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Like I said earlier, I will always link all of the supplies that I use down in the description box below, so you can be sure to check that out. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much for all of your support. You're just the absolute best. If you want to come check out a creative, fun community that you can really connect to, there is a link to Patreon down in the description box below. All right, I'm going to add a couple of ribbon tabs here at the top that I had in my stash just for an extra little bit of flair, and that is going to wrap it up. I hope that you all have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.